Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on episode 241. We are doing the daily color in small victories. We have one last filigree flower design. I did finish the metallic. This is the Kessel Arts metallic and Cretacolor. The upper one is the Derwent drawing, which now I have based the metallic color choices on. And I'm hoping I can show you some of the sheen. The mica in the metallic, actually, to me, the best term I can think of is it makes it look like pearl. So today, we're going to do 1/2 of this design, which is quite different than the other two. I will do my best to keep the colors consistent with both of the other designs. We've got a kind of a burnt orange fall leaf. This does not have any blue. We have little tiny blue flowers and no flowers with the fall colors. Instead, they're these discs, and then these flowers are a little bit on the red side, but there really isn't a red in the Derwent drawing. So what I did with the bottom, we have a couple of changes to the color palette that will be necessary. We have water drops. We have ginko leaves, which is a very light colored green. We have tulips. So, and then these little flowers. So I've found a blue. These two flowers will be blue. This will be the fall colors. And I will probably leave the water droplets alone for the moment. I really want to keep it fall colors. So I don't want to go with a bright aqua water droplet. So I might do something different with that. I don't have any little dots, so where I'm going with this is that I'm thinking this might be my equivalent of these little dots. So whatever I do with those dots, I might do with these water droplets, because there isn't the equivalent. So we'll see. I'm going to leave the water droplets alone. That is my plan for the day. Our set that we get to work with, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit now. I've done my best to match up the angle because I am tilted today. And then we do have the spine. Every time I have to deal with the spine, there's a little of adjustment and it kind of messes with the camera focus. But I do like it when I get to zoom in. We are using Amazon Basics. This is a 72 set, and I will say that the one flaw with the set is the depth of color. My browns are all very similar. I don't have a good autumn harvest orange or an autumn harvest red, so I have chosen for the orange, I'm going to take that back. I think that is, maybe I'm using red brown. So red brown to get that harvesty color. If I go back up to this color, it'll be this color, and then going a little bit deeper, I did grab, because I don't have an orange, so this red brown has to act as kind of both the orange and the red. So I will glaze a little bit, and these are tiny flowers, so this is just very minimal. I've grabbed a maroon to kind of help darken the color. I have not grabbed black. The shadow color for these vines and in the shadow elements were all the Mythos black, and there was a very dark brown for the Derwent drawing. I don't really have a dark brown. I have not at this point pulled the black. My darkest is called Bark. We will see when I use it if I need to pull out a black. So I'm going to start with these little tiny fall flowers. Coloring should be pretty quick. Each day has been about 30 minutes. It's nice to finally have a small enough image that I can keep it nice and short instead of going over my 45 every day. And again, I'm doing just one half, and I will, on my own time, go off and do the other half. These are very creamy. It's very seldom, only certain sets do I say are really creamy, buttery. And these are one of them. They are not silky. They literally are buttery feeling. Blending with them can be trickier, but like these colors, I think if you pick your colors right, you can end up with a lovely blend. But when I've tried some odd, non-matching color combinations that aren't like right next to each other on the color wheel, it can get tricky to try to get the blends to happen. So that is all that's going to be the autumn thus far. We have one little viney tendril here. I do have, our browns. We don't have a really light brown in this palette. So I have grabbed 3 browns, and then I do have the yellow ochre. That was this color. And I might introduce this a little bit. So my 3 browns to make the ivy. The darkest is called Bark. And you'll see that the dipped ends or dipped full barrels are all about the same value or tone. And so we've got brown, which I'm calling the lightest, but it's not really very light. 558, we've got red brown 559, and Bark 555. So there is no tan in this set. So I am going to just start a little bit. So here's going to be my equivalent of tan. Then I have my like orange reddish color. And I was thinking, because there's such a small amount of this yellow, that I might be able to add a little bit along this vine, and then there's this little tiny half vine deal here. And we will see if I can get enough. Color variation. And then there's a couple of weird almost vines that quickly they get so narrow it turns into just one piece of black line art. I'm going to get this ochre going. On the other images, I did this like on these little buds. Grabbing Bark again. Switching to the brown. I believe that's going to be it for those warm brown to mustard tones. I'm going to grab the blues next. I have 3 of them. Again, we don't, with this 72, we don't get into the darks like I would like. So we have Smyrna Blue, 532, which is a really nice light blue. We have a middle blue. It's pretty vibrant. It's brighter than the barrel shows, 533. And then Prussian Blue, 529, is that has a little bit of green to it, and it does not go dark enough, but we're going to see if I can make it work. So, starting on the bottom of the bell flowers, see already, can you see how light that Prussian blue is? So like I said, if I have to, I will go grab a little bit of the black. It is sitting right here in my tower of pencil cases. So we only have 2 of those, just like we only have 2 of these little flowers. Going with the middle blue now. Going very feather light, where I'm going to connect and overlap with this light blue. And then down here at the base, I'm getting nice, using heavy pressure, going for the vibrant color. Very nice. All right, so there's the blue, there's the autumn. Pretty much, we just have leaves. Now, we do have, I want to use the olive tones, and I have 3. Again, the 2 darker tones kind of stay. This olive green, if I look at the tips, it's hard to tell which is darker because the barrels look about the same. So I might interchange the moss and olive depending on how the color goes down. And the mustard, so numbers are mustard 551. Boy, the silver with the shine of the barrel makes it hard to read. Olive green 544 and moss green 548. Starting with the darkest, what I think is the darkest color. Yeah, I think that's the darkest. Get my shadows in. Lots of little loose leaves going on here. These water droplets are interesting because these 2 could be water droplets, but in my world, to make it easy, I'm going to turn them into little leaflets. We only have 2 kinds of leaves, and then the water. This leaf is going to be olive to stick with the autumn color tones, like the top 2 filigrees. And then where I'm going to stray a little bit is the ginkgo leaves are light green. Water droplets. I believe are going to be some sort of embellish bling pen that I have not decided what yet. This little center area, I'm going to leave both sides separate. I will work on that. It's probably going to be the browns. I have that maroon. This is a heart shape, so I'm tempted to do something with that maroon and see if I have a fall-ish pink, perhaps, to look similar. I will show you the top flowers here are like a deep mauve, and then it goes into a light yellow, because I did use wheat, I believe was the color, as the highlight, which was lovely to see mauve blending beautifully with the color wheat, because the drawing pencils blend so well. You can, where these, the Amazon Basics, you would have a hard time blending those two colors together because they're so different from each other. I think I am using medium pressure because I want to get this as dark as possible. That I'm going to turn into a leaf. It has a leaf look to it. Middle color, olive green, 544. This is pretty sharp. I'm doing some small ovals with medium pressure. I'm trying to create a difference in the colors by using heavy pressure on what is kind of the darkest but is still very close to the olive. And then the olive, I'm using light to medium pressure to get the color variation I would like. And then we'll go ahead and have these little ends be the middle tone. Okay, the light green is chartreusey. I think it's called mustard, actually. And we'll see if I'm going to have to go lightly with that color and put a little olive over the top. Still looking fall to me. Yay. It's kind of a fun challenge, and it is getting close to fall. 551 is called mustard. It is quite a bit lighter than even its tip. Looks very green. It is not as green as that tip looks. It's quite light. So I am going light pressure. I see I missed a few. So you are seeing me attempt to mix two colors to make a third here. I just don't want the mustard to be so bright. Gonna go back. That is working, so I am going to finish off the rest of these leaves very lightly. And then we get to play with the ginkgo leaves. This is back to the olive. I am going heavy pressure now. But I think, and soft on the ends of these leaves to mute that mustard. It's a little bit on the bright side. Looking pretty good. Now when we add the ginkgo leaf color, it is going to change it. I still have the moss green that was my darkest, and I'm gonna go in, see how dark I can get it by using the pressure. So where I was gonna say, I'm not sure if these are a pencil that you can add more after the tooth is used up, which the colors you cannot. Once you burnish them, you're done. I've pretty much used up all the tooth, but I am able to come back in and get some darker green over the top, which is nice. It's not feeling really super slick to me, which is good. And I hear Hub stirring. He's opening the door. So we just have the ginkgo leaves and then we're done. Very simple. I will see if he needs to get settled. All right, Hub is settled. We are working on the ginkgo leaves. I picked a nice light bright green peppermint, and I have an even lighter green, lime green. They are not even in the same family of greens, but we're going to see how they do. I am going to color the entire leaf with this lime green. Ginkgo leaves, by the way, from what I can see, do vary in color, but they are mostly a light green, from what I see. And I recognize them best when I see them in this light color. There, I hope. I'm doing medium pressure. And now I want to come in at the base of the greens and just, it's very bright. See, this is not in the spirit of I'm going even softer. Just a hint of the bright color. I actually feel like softening that with the, I believe, we'll use olive green. Have a little bit of touch up on the brown. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's toning down the bright green. Then now there's just a hint of the bright. Still looking fallish. I see some, just gonna grab, it's like all of these are similar. I'm just going to go for the middle tone. This is 558 brown. I want to color the little ends. Okay. All I have is this one half of that heart that I will color with the other one. So I still think I'm keeping in the spirit of a fall colored page, it is a little bit brighter. It's so funny, this metallic does not look very metallic. I do see it's like a little bit of a pearlized sheen. Even the Derwent drawing has the sheen of being burnished, though I didn't actively burnish any of these. I wish I had a champagne color, a cool tone. If I find a cool tone, I might erase away a little bit, because this centerpiece is a little bit too bright for me. We'll see if there's anything I can do with that before I go off and do the other page. So I will finish this on my own. Again, I'm treating the water drops as the equivalent of the little round dots, and I will embellish them in some way. I may do the embellishing. Sometimes I will embellish during the weekly review. We'll see what I want to do with that. I'll leave that up as a surprise. And the next is a heart with Artisto, I believe it was. And I think I've done... oops, sorry, we're not even over on the heart, because I'm zoomed in. Let's zoom out so you can see. We finished really early. So nice. So here is our heart that we're going to use the Artisto, which is a 72 set. I really like them. I haven't picked out a color tone yet. It might be heart tones. If I look back at the last hearts I worked with, I went with a muted palette. So it's possible that I might want to go red. I think that would be fun, to do these flowers in a bright red to salmon on the ends. And again, I have been doing backgrounds, so I might want to leave this one alone. And I have an idea that I won't share with you that I will explore on my own. And it is a technique I've only done a couple of times now, and I am still perfecting it. So I will save that for when I work on this. So that is the end of this episode. Do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and I will see you all back here. It will not be tomorrow, but you won't know it's not tomorrow. I will be likely skipping a day. We'll see how I feel after my procedure is done. And so hopefully I will see you there.